Hello everyone, всем привет, Oksana here, welcome to my channel, Yes It's Russian, where we are, that's right, learning Russian, and this video is going to be about Russian verbs, and we're going to be talking about one verb in particular, and that verb is писать, писать. You can see it on your screen, and писать means to write. And in this video we will be writing down the conjugation forms in present tense of this verb писать, and we'll also be looking at some examples of how this verb can be used in Russian phrases and sentences. We will be reading them and translating. So let's start. So here you can see the conjugation forms in the present tense of the verb писать, and just by looking at them you can see that they are formed a little bit differently from the other verbs I talked about already on my channel. And the thing that is important here is that the consonant S in the middle of the verb is changed into sh. And basically the only part of the verb that stays the same is only the first syllable p, and we are adding to it different endings according to the person and singular or plural forms. So let us go over them. So the first one is я пишу, я пишу, я пишу, meaning I write or I am writing. Next we have ты пишешь, ты пишешь, you write or you are writing, and that form is used when addressing a single person or when it is a single person in an informal way. Next we have он, она пишет, он, она пишет, he or she writes or is writing. And here is the plural forms. We have мы пишем, мы пишем, мы пишем, we write or we are writing. Next, вы пишете, вы пишете, вы пишете, you write or you are writing, and in that case, you write or you are writing is used either addressing a group of people, more than one, or when addressing a single person in a polite way. And next we have они пишут, они пишут, они пишут. They write or they are writing. So that is all of the present tense forms, conjugation forms of the verb писать, and of course you have to remember them, to memorize them, because this verb is forming its conjugation form a little bit differently than most of other Russian verbs, because it changes a bit, so you have to be attentive to this situation here, so please give enough time to learn them. And now let us go over to some examples of how this verb can be used in Russian phrases and sentences. So when talking about writing something, we can say that we can write a letter. So this phrase, to write a letter, in the infinitive form is писать письмо. Писать письмо in Russian, to write a letter, means писать письмо. And to say, like, for example, she writes or is writing a letter, we have to use the form of the verb писать corresponding to the pronoun она. So in this case is пишет. So we have here this, она пишет письмо. Она пишет письмо, meaning she writes or is writing a letter in the present tense. Она пишет письмо. You can say, like, мы пишем письмо, я пишу письмо, ты пишешь письмо, они пишут письмо, вы пишете письмо. So the only thing that you have to pay attention to is the verb писать and to use it in the correct conjugation form. And further on we'll be learning again how to conjugate it in different tenses. So again you will be paying attention only to the verb in this phrase. We can also use the verb писать when talking about writing poems, like poetry. And for this phrase, to write poems, we have Russian equivalent, which is писать стихи, писать стихи. So стихи is poems, писать to write. So писать стихи means to write poems. So to say, like, the poet writes poems, we have in this sentence, which is поэт пишет стихи. Поэт пишет стихи. Again, поэт corresponds to the pronoun он. it is a noun of a masculine gender in singular form, so it corresponds to on, hence we're using this form of the verb писать, which is пишет, so поэт пишет стихи. But of course you can change it like to somebody's name, like my sister writes poems, моя сестра, она пишет стихи, она пишет стихи. Мы пишем стихи, я пишу стихи. So again, only the verb changes in this phrase. You can also say that you are writing in somewhere, in some like notebook or textbook. So to say that to write in a textbook, to write in a notebook, you will say писать в тетради. В тетради literally means in a notebook. So писать в тетради means to write in a notebook. So this phrase студенты пишут в тетрадях, студенты пишут в тетрадях, is translated as students write or are writing in a notebook, in notebooks, in plural, sorry, in notebooks. So again, студенты corresponds to the pronoun они, so that's why we're using the form of the verb corresponding to the pronoun они, which is пишут, so студенты пишут в тетрадях or в тетради. В тетрадях is the plural form of the verb тетради, of the word тетради, so студенты пишут в тетрадях, students write in notebooks. And lastly, you can use the verb писать in this phrase, which is to write to somebody, to write towards somebody, and for this you have to use the verb писать with a noun in a dative case, and you just have to know how this phrase is built, because I haven't made the video on cases yet, but it is of great use for you to already understand how this phrase is built. It is not like in English, you have to put the noun in the special form so that it will be sounding grammatically correct. So to put a noun in a dative case means that you have to change its ending accordingly, and then you will get the phrase which can be translated as to write to somebody. So for example, я пишу другу. Другу is a dative case form of the word друг, friend. So я пишу другу will mean I write to my friend. I write to my friend, or I'm writing to my friend. You can also use it with the other examples, like писать письмо to somebody, to write a letter to somebody. So you will say моя подруга пишет письмо, and you're adding who she writes to. My friend writes a letter to her sister. So you put the word сестра, which is sister, in the dative case here. Моя подруга writes a letter. My friend writes a letter to her sister, сестре. So in English, we express this case, dative case, by using the preposition to. But in Russian, you express this notion by with the help of cases, or in this case, with the dative case. So моя подруга пишет письмо сестре. And that is the examples of how you can use the verb писать in Russian language, and it is fairly easy. I think the hard part of all this is just to learn the correct conjugation forms, at least for now, in the present tense. And once you do it, all will be very, very easy. You just have to notice how this verb is used in a sentence, in the means of like how different phrases are formed with this verb. But when you know the conjugation forms, it will be easier to grasp. So please do that, and if you have any questions, write them down in the commentary section under the video. I'll answer all of your questions. So that's it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it and found it informative. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to my channel if you haven't yet. And I will be very glad to see you on my channel again. And my videos come out every day, so please don't miss out. And I'll see you very, very soon. So for now, goodbye. Please stay safe and don't forget to study Russian. Goodbye.